The first drop from pocket height, bottom side facing down. No damages suffered at all from pocket height. Next, second drop from pocket height, top side facing the marble. No dents or cracks on the plastic top side until now. Next up, third pocket height drop, camera unit side facing down. No physical damage as yet to the plastic bag or the camera unit or glass. Next, the last drop from pocket height, display side facing the floor. The undisclosed tempered glass production has managed to survive the pocket height drops with ease. We are performing the drop test of the Micromax IN Note 1 to know its drop impact resistance from different heights and angles. So next up, increasing the drop height to 1.6 meters head high, bottom side facing down. Just a slight dent from the first high drop at the left edge. Next, second high drop, top side plastic edge facing the marble floor. No major damages, but again a slight dent with some minor scuff marks and discoloration at the top left. Next, third high drop with live video recording, camera unit backside facing down. The camera unit has done a great job of handling the hard drop impact with no damage suffered. Next up, the finale height drop you have been waiting for, but without live video recording on the selfie camera since it had stopped working in the water test. Display screen side facing down. The Micromax IN Note 1 has managed to pass the drop test without any major damages apart from the minor issues. There was no damages to internal functions, camera or the display unit besides a bit of dent, discoloration and scuff marks at the edges. The Micromax IN Note 1 has done great in a drop test. We have the made in India Micromax IN Note 1 here in the studio and we are here to find out everything about its build quality in terms of its structural strength, water resistance capabilities, scratch resistance of its unnamed glass production, and its drop impact resistance, which you just saw at the start of this video. Frankly, the packaging is of the lowest quality we have unboxed till date, though the phone itself does not look bad at all. In fact, it does look good and certainly not like a Micromax. The plastic back is a huge fingerprint magnet though, and it weighs in at a decent 196 grams, just below the 200 grams mark. It did not really feel the strongest in my usual trial bend, with a slight bit of flex, and we will prove the real build quality in the bend test later. Even though there is no free plastic case in the box, which has become pretty common even on most Redmi and Poco devices, and are common on Realme, Oppo and Vivo, the display does come pre-applied with a plastic screen protector, which you should replace with a glass substitute. It should be interesting to see if this undisclosed glass protection is as good as Corning, or does it fail like some Realme devices. So continuing with the scratch test, to know the scratch resistant capabilities of this unnamed glass protection, we are going to rub it with common atoms found in pockets and a heavy duty blade. Devices from me have always been doing an awesome job in the glass protection department. This is because they have been using high quality tempered glass protection such as Corning, which has the ability of handling and easily resisting scratch marks from the blade. The funny part is that some devices fail the blade with ugly scratch marks, even though it's not supposed to, according to the Mohs scale of hardness. That's why the blade is of utmost importance, as it exposes poor quality glass protection. Fortunately, this undisclosed glass protection mimics the qualities of genuine Corning glass protection and passes the scratch test with minimal scratches. Some important stuff to be noted in connection to water resistance is that the Micromax IN Note 1 does not have an IP-rated ingress rating of any kind and is not IP68 water resistant, so it will be extremely dangerous and foolish to completely submerge it underwater, as it may get permanently damaged. The SIM tray also does not have a rubber seal on it, something which helps a great deal in water resistance and is present on devices like the Realme C3 or the Poco X3. Also, we don't have any record of Micromax on our channel since this is the first Micromax device we are testing, so we don't really have a track record of Micromax in terms of liquid damage. In the ongoing oleophobic test, we are checking for a layer of oleophobic coating on the display, which will help in reduction of fingerprint smudges and will also give an ultra smooth feel while touching the screen. There are quite a few devices which do not have an oleophobic coating on them as a cost-cutting measure, and its absence is proved when water sticks to the glass surface and forms a pool. Though there is no such issues here on the Micromax IN Note 1 as expected, since it does have an oleophobic layer, proved by the fact that water is forming spherical droplets on the glass and rolling off the glass surface. So it's a good thing that Micromax has started off well in case of oleophobic coating. In the light splashing round, we have to keep a close eye on the display, because this is where the Redmi Note 8 and 9 had suffered from massive black screen issues due to severe and permanent motherboard damage. Also, as some of you might remember, the Redmi 9 Prime had suffered from headphone icon issue for about 24 hours. Besides these examples, non-IP rated devices in our water test can suffer from temporary issues like screen flicker, blank screen issues where the screen will turn off and on its own will, and also irreversible display damage like the Zenfone 5Z. The most common stuff to happen on non-IP rated devices though is low loudness levels from the external speakers along with distorted audio, and if left overexposed can lead to permanent damage of the sound unit, motherboard or the display unit, or this can last for a few seconds. The thing here is that the external speakers on the Micromax IN Note 1 seems to be recovering within 5 to 10 minutes, but there is a weird kind of frothing taking place never before seen on other devices. On top of that, there was temporary water seepage inside both front and back camera units, and as you saw earlier, the selfie camera had stopped working for a few hours, so it cannot be called a complete pass or fail. Next, moving on to fun stuff with value. The bend test will give you a clear indication with video proof about the real life structural build quality of devices the company has given you for your hard earned money. As you might remember, during the trial bend, the flex seemed to be a tad bit high, and it is proved here that the degree of bend or flex is in fact very high compared to other devices bend tested this year. Though after a point of high bend, it does lock out with no apparent damage. In comparison, the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max had already suffered massive damage on the first bend with much lesser force than what was applied here on the Micromax Note 1. The second bend from the backside also makes the Note 1 go completely out of shape due to the huge degree of flex. But surprisingly, it has not suffered any structural damages as yet. The fact that the Micromax IN Note 1 has managed to survive despite the massive amount of bend angle from both sides is nothing short of a miracle. Here's hoping that Micromax learns from the mistakes in build quality and makes an improvement in the Note 2.